it's the very first exciting, fun podcast from yours truly, Ben Teeley. And
Excuse me,
what's up?
you said the first.
Well, it is. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, but it might also be the last.
Well,
You
that's
never know.
true, but it's still the first. But yeah, it might be the last, but it's still the first one.
Okay, I think you should redo that.
Okay, so I just say something like, "Welcome to Ben Teeley's podcast, episode 1." Would that be better?
Yeah, go on then, go for that.
Okay, welcome to Ben Teeley's episode 1, fun podcast.
And
Oh, there's something else?
yeah, there's something else. I think you're forgetting about a certain someone.
Oh, yeah. All good podcasts have a co-host. So my co-host...
And you've got the best one.
Yeah, got the illustrious Barb. So welcome, Barb. Is that better?
Thank you, that's much better.
All right. Well, are you going to tell them or am I?
Well, tell them what?
Well, you know that thing that we said we should tell everybody so that there's probably only us in the world that we know that's doing it. So
yes, I know exactly what you mean now.
yeah.
The fact that we're the only father-daughter duo.
Well, we think so. We don't know.
Yeah.
So if anybody watching knows any different, please tell us, because as far as we know, we're the only crazy father-daughter team. Yeah, or don't tell us, maybe. But
let us think we're the only ones.
That's right, Ben and Barb. Right, that'll do. That's true. We'll just be the two together. So
yeah, that sounds good to me.
Well, who else would want to do it? I mean, nobody really. I mean,
well, you never know.
It's only took me 3 or 4 years to get a podcast going. It's only you crazy enough to volunteer. So,
well, what can I say?
Well,
crazy.
We can talk about my books or not, or my stories or not. We might not. We can talk about maybe football or anything else that's been going on. Anything
a bit of both.
Keep things current.
Bit of both works.
Try and entertain people for 20 minutes. Because when they're on the way somewhere to work or going to a meeting or bored for 10 minutes or getting on an airplane, why not listen to something fun?
Exactly. We're here for you.
Well,
to be honest, though, I don't think I want to know more about the stories of you as a child.
Well, they're not all as a child. Some of them are when I was big and grown up and stupid.
Yeah, true. That's the one with the really long title, isn't it?
Yeah. The work nights and
that's the one. Yeah.
I have to read it. Work nights out and other short stories. Do you know why I called it that? Do you know
why did you call it that?
Why it's got such a long title? Is because I self-published these myself. Self-published means yourself. So I did it all myself. And I thought the trick was on Amazon to have as many names in that title as possible for people to search. But that's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
No, that's not how it works. But I didn't know that till after I'd done it. Because I thought,
you deserve an A for effort there.
Well, thank you. But the problem is, once you've done it, put it out there, they won't let you change the title.
Yeah, so, it's kind of already out there.
I'm stuck with that stupid title forever. It should have been like Ben in England or something, or Ben Goes to Work, something daft. But well, you learn the hard way. That's the first one I did. A lot of mistakes.
So that's why you're spending 3 months on a title for your next one.
Yes, the next one I wanted to bring it out for October, but I might just make it for November if I'm lucky.
If you can think of a title.
Yeah, no. So far, it's just Ben. What is it? I can't remember. A Canny Weekend. I think I've got it so far as a Canny Weekend, or Ben's last week in England, or so. I don't know. Who knows? We'll have to think of something. I'll have to put my heads together.
Yeah. Have to wait for the big reveal.
That's right. Yeah. Give some lead up time. Say, hey, guess what's coming soon? And that's
exactly.
And the other thing, of course, is when you're talking about stories, you can make them sound funny. Well, sometimes. But when you're writing them down, it's like, oh,
I guess you had to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's like all of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, all of the stories were based around, well, I guess you could have been there, yeah. Because, well, I thought they were funny. And some
Which is
people,
a favourite story that you wrote?
um, actually, my favorite story isn't in the books yet. So I perhaps should start with that as it goes back to when I was a young man living in a little village called Wingate, and
Oh,
had a house and had some friends, and the brother-in-law came over at the time, and we were playing. I can't remember whether we played speed Scrabble or speed chess, but it was like it was probably speed Scrabble because our third a friend of mine, Des, joined us,
yeah.
and so that probably suits itself more for three people than chess does. And
Because I could imagine those games have got very different rules.
oh yeah, well. The thing with the speed Scrabble was you only get 30 seconds to play your tiles, to play your word, and that's it. If
Hmm.
you don't play, it goes around to the next person. So you're forced to play really quick. And of course, the games go over quickly, and you're having a laugh. And like I said, the brother-in-law was there, and my friend Des was there, and they'd never met. So when I was introducing them to each other, I said, "Hey, Des, this is Billy Bob, and this is Des," and oh, hi. And Des is like, "Well, uh, where do you work?" And the brother-in-law is like, "Well, I work for the local council." And
Mm.
Des like, "Oh yeah," and what do you do? "Oh, I'm a joiner." And so, "Oh yeah, just chit chatting and taking turns and everything." And so Gary, the brother-in-law, says, "Hey, where do you live?" And Des is like, "Oh, I live in Blackhall." And Gary's like, "Oh, I'm working in Blackhall." And Des is like, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, where you working?" And Gary says, "Oh, I'm working down the rocks." And Des is like, "Oh, I live down the rocks." And Gary's like, "Oh, right." He says, I'm working in Queen Street." And Des is like, "Oh, I live in Queen Street." And Gary says, "Oh, do you know Dirty Gertie from number 30? And Des says, "We live in number 30.
Oh, I knew something had to come from that.
So that was the story that put me in mind of writing all the books at the beginning, because it was like a stupid, short, funny story.
Yeah.
But I never got it in the books, because whenever I've tried to write that one down, I've never got it quite right. Perhaps I should work on it a bit more and get it
Yeah, 'cause
included.
that's probably one of the funniest.
Yes. Well, it's still, there's a guy over here who runs a bar downtown in Houston. And if you called him now and said, "Hey, Dirty Gertie from number 30, he'd still fall over laughing. And he'd still remember the car ride I was driving around the town and telling them that on a night out. And yeah, he still tells it to people in his bar now.
So it was a good one then.
It was pretty good. Yeah, it was one of those where everybody thought it was funny. Even people who don't think I'm funny thought that was funny, which was quite good. And I took it from there because, like, some of the stories, like the very first story in the book, for example, is when I was 15 and for some reason decided I could stay up all night till the next
Yeah,
morning to go for a job interview. What?
we've all done it.
Yeah.
We've all done it. I don't know why, but we have all done it.
I know, it's like, what on earth? Well, what I can't
It's
understand.
exciting, isn't it?
Well, what I used to do with my friend Keith, he was my best friend growing up. We used to stay up a lot till 6 or 7 in the morning, loads of times. Sometimes we'd like maybe stay up till 6, do his paper round, then go to bed. But we'd always be in bed by like 7 or maybe 7:30 at the latest, and crashed out for the rest of the day. We weren't ever getting ready to go for anything important.
Yeah, not as important as a job interview.
That's right. So I'm trying to join the Air Force, the Royal Air Force. Yes, I'll fly your planes.
Oh yeah, imagine you in a Royal Air Force anyway.
The country's at risk.
That's funny that you even tried to apply.
Well, the reason for that was my dad was in the Air Force after the end of World War II, and my uncle was
Fair
in
enough.
the Air Force during World War II. And so between them two, hearing all the conversations about the Air Force, it was like, oh, I've got to join the Air Force,
Yeah.
And it turns out I didn't have to join the Air Force.
No, you didn't after
No,
all.
no, and they certainly didn't really want me. Although they did say, come back in 6 months and try again. No.
Okay. 6
Yeah.
months of sleep or
Yeah, come back when you wake up.
yeah. Come back when you've got less bags under your eyes than
That's right.
Morrison's.
Yeah, when you look a bit more alert.
Yeah.
The whole worst thing of all that was, I mean, I fell asleep on the bus to the train station, and people applauded as I woke up. Like in the bus stand, it was like 200 people waiting for their morning
Oh
commute.
God.
And the bus driver, he'd let everybody off the bus, then he'd parked it up and left me asleep upstairs in the window, lying like this. So when I woke up, everybody went in the bus stand, like a big town bus stand in the day, 200 people. They all saw me wake up and they all applauded. And I'm like,
Oh wow.
no.
That's really embarrassing actually.
And then I drifted round to the railway station because the Air Force had given me free bus ticket and free train ticket. And that's all I had on me. I had no money, just free bus ticket, free train ticket. And so I went round and I got on the train. It was there. It didn't take too much thought. Small train station, Hartlepool to Middlesbrough. One train coming through. Got on that, no bother. And yeah. And there was a pretty girl beside me, and I fell asleep on her. And I tried not to, but I'd
I bet you never
managed.
saw her again.
No, because I'd managed to tell her before I fell asleep that I was going for this job interview. So she woke me up as the train pulled into Middlesbrough. Otherwise,
Wow.
I'd still be on it now.
Yeah. God knows where you'd end up.
Exactly. I'd probably been in the south of France or something. So she woke me up, and I was like, "Oh, thank you." And I walked round to I can't remember the street name in Middlesbrough now, but it was about 15 minutes from the train station. It wasn't too bad. Walked around and find the Air Force in those days used to have like a shop front for recruiting. A lot of them, the Army did, the Air Force, the Navy. So I go in and I said to the girl, "Oh, it's me. I'm here for my Air Force interview." And she's like, "Oh, okay, have a seat there, young man." I'm like, "Yes, great." So I went and sat down, and I'm like, "This is okay." And it was 8:45. The interview was for 9 a.m. So I was really proud. I was on time. I was punctual and ahead of it and everything, ready to go. Except I was sat in a window, and the window was east facing, and it was 9 a.m. in the morning. So the sun was beating down on my neck. So yeah, while I'm sat there, I was out again.
Falling asleep.
Yep. And the lady came over and went, "Excuse me, it's your turn." And I'm like, "Oh." And I can't remember one word spoken in that interview or one.
Oh God.
I kind of remember a panel of people, maybe.
Kind of.
I think so. I'm sure there was a woman in there, but it was a darkened room with them all sat behind a table and me
Was
sat
it
in a
dark
chair.
because your eyes were shut or
Yeah.
or is it just dark anyway?
That's right. It was just it's dark in
Try
here.
and catch you out.
Yeah, it's dark in here. Oh, and the worst bit that was after all that, and obviously I got a letter about 3 minutes later saying you're not getting in. Try again when you wake up. But I get back on the train to go back to Hartlepool to reverse the journey, and I fell asleep on that train again, and woke up at Seaham, and I had no bus ticket from Seaham. I had to walk back to Peterlee from Seaham. Oh God! Which, yeah, to be fair for a young fella, it's only 7 or 10 miles, but I was never blessed with being the fittest of people as a young'un, so I think I probably weighed about 6 stone.
Yeah, from the pictures I've seen, I think so.
I used to walk around looking like a blue lamson tube with light, skinny. People pointing and going, "Look at that poor malnourished kid."
Oh.
They used to have fun savers for me.
Coming out giving you some bread.
I think so. Yeah, come on. Yeah, yeah. Oh, but actually, you know what? You've just reminded me there now. My
That
friend's
actually
mum.
happened.
Yeah, well, my friends. When I used to walk home from school, my friend's mum would be coming home from the shops, and she would open a shopping bag and give me some biscuits. I've just remembered that.
Oh.
So thank you, Mrs. P, if you're listening. So
Yeah, there you go.
there you go. That was
Now
funny.
I know we've already touched on this topic,
Oh, we
but
did.
yeah, let's just skim past it because we don't need to talk about it if we don't want to.
Oh, we should though. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, because I was looking and I started printing some of them off. You mean the football tables? Is that what you mean?
I might do, yeah.
Well, because
Maybe League One, League Two, and Prem, yeah.
not the championship, because
Uh,
well, I printed off. See, I did some preparation work, so I printed off the championship. There's the league
oh,
table,
you
so
don't need to print
I
it
can look.
though.
Well, but I
And
can.
it's saved forever.
It's pretty good because, like, you've got Man City at the top, and you've got
Oh, right, yeah.
Burnley and Luton at the bottom, and that's pretty good. And Everton only on 1 point, so
I'm glad Luton are at the bottom.
yeah, me too. Yeah,
Considering what they did last season.
I know, terrible. just let's just chuck the ball around and let's just bully everybody. Yeah,
They're getting what they deserve.
I think. Oh, I'll be surprised if they get like 5 points this season. So, in fact, when Man City play them. I shouldn't be giving you my top tips here, but when Man City play them,
I know what you're going to say.
Haaland's going to be my captain.
Triple captain.
Triple
yeah.
captain, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
That's exactly what I was going to do, but I needed to catch up, so I thought I'd get in there early.
I'm doing that, yeah. We won't. It's too early to talk about me being the champion of the fantasy football league at the minute.
It's too early.
I think it's too early. But I did get I did get 95 points last week without trying any triple plays or anything. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't do that either.
But the best bit was, I thought I'll print the championship out as well because I printed out the Premier League. So I thought, well, I'm going to do proper research. I need to print out the championship. But you see, it goes from 1 to 24. Like so.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot more teams, isn't there?
But the page only fits to 23. So the poor old Borough don't even get.
So we don't need to talk about us then.
They don't even get on the page. And I wasn't going to use 2 pages to fit the Borough on.
Isn't that just saying something though?
What's wrong with them then?
Silly.
Why is he not winning?
Well, we've lost our main striker.
Oh, you did? Who was that one?
Yeah.
Is that him who scored?
I can't remember his name now.
Is that him who scored for
Chuba Akpom?
Yeah, didn't he? Where did he go? Didn't he just score at the weekend for somebody in the Prem? No.
Yeah, I bet he did.
I'm not sure. Akpom. Is it
Akpom?
Akpom. That's right. I didn't realise you'd lost him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not.
He plays for Ajax now.
Oh, he went to Ajax.
Yeah.
And you lost another striker as well.
Oh yeah, we've lost most of the team that we had solid. It's practically a brand new team now.
But that's not very good.
No, it's not. We had a lot of people out on loan last season, and that's just done us over.
Oh no!
I know.
I was trying to. They said on one of the games I watched at the weekend. Was it Archer?
Archer, yeah.
That's him. He's at Sheffield United scoring goals now in the Prem.
I know he is, yeah.
That's the fella, yeah. And they mentioned that he was from and I thought, wow, I didn't realise you'd lost so many players.
Yeah. Dang. We've lost quite a lot, so it's no wonder that we're at the bottom, but I hope we can pick it back up.
But it would be remiss of me not to rub it in by saying Sunderland, without any strikers, beat Southampton 5-0.
Yeah, of course.
That was pretty good.
I'm just clinging on to 2008 when we beat Man City 8-1.
Oh, wow, yeah. That's a good...
I'm not letting go of that.
That's a good one to hang on to.
Yeah, it really is. I tell everybody that I meet.
Well, and I was at Southampton in, oh, blimey, I've forgotten the year now. Let's have a look. I'll soon tell you. 8, and then I was at Southampton when they beat Sunderland 8-0.
Ooh.
And that was in
8-0.
Yeah, 8-0. It was October the 18th, 2014. That was terrible. And the worst thing,
another date that I'm gonna hold on
to. Yeah, you can write that down. So I would have been really happy yesterday if we'd beaten them 8-0 as well. But
to rub it back in their face.
Yeah, I'll take 5 though. Five works.
But, 5's not too bad, you know.
Yeah. But the worst thing about going there and seeing them beat us 8-0 was they were wearing the red and white stripes. It's like, ugh.
Even worse.
I know. So yeah. And,
did you watch the Man United game?
I did. That was pretty good for Arsenal.
Yeah, it was quite intense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arsenal have been good last season and this season. They've been all right.
Yeah, and I figured Man United seemed to be playing all right, but not enough. They don't control games like they used. Like obviously I'm going back to Fergie time, but like they just seem to have some good players and good counter-attack, where years ago they were the dominant team. So
when they used to be,
mind, I felt a bit sorry for them because they did bring Johnny Evans on.
Yeah.
He's 36.
I know.
I mean, should I go and ask if I can sign up for them?
Well, yeah, you could.
I can do that, yeah. Well, he's not exactly Mr. Speed, is he? I mean, and you've got Arsenal.
Most of it, I think they do for the publicity as well. Like they brought Ronaldo back.
Oh,
The thing with Eriksen as well. Like they brought Eriksen in when he just
that's right.
His cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
So I feel like most of what they do is kind of for the sales.
You mean they're doing,
rather than winning?
They're being a charity.
Yeah, like I feel like they're trying to appeal to the audience rather than winning.
The Man United charity case.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like why are you not winning?
Because you got all these old blokes playing footy.
Yeah, exactly.
Had heart attacks and can't run.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny Evans, though, I was like, actually, Sunderland had him on loan when he was a kid, and he was great, brilliant. I mean, obviously he was brilliant. He went to Leicester and he won a title, so yeah, good for him. But it's like, I don't see how a 36-year-old. I mean, that's why even Liverpool let go of what's his face to
Henderson.
Well, him and the other one, the other old fellow they used to have. Can't remember his name now. I think he plays for Brighton.
Oh, yes. I do know who you mean. He won every test.
Him.
I've got his name now.
Yeah, I can't remember him either. But he at least
Milner. James
Milner. There you go. Yeah.
He was cracking on.
Yeah, but even Liverpool recognised that if you're going to compete with Arsenal, I mean, it's all right having James Milner at Sunderland or the Borough or someone like that. He'd make a difference. But top of the Premier League, Arsenal's front line, speed, and Tottenham's and Man City.
Well, yes, Saka's only 20?
Yeah,
if he's even 20.
Absolutely, and
they've got youth on their side.
And even Tottenham now with now they don't have super fast Harry Kane at the front.
Yeah. I've noticed.
Showing a lot of movement up front now. So it's
well, Maddison's doing well as well.
Oh yeah. He's been a great signing.
Moved forwards a lot. Yeah.
That's the other thing. Man United signed, didn't they? They signed some midfielder who they should have signed Maddison. They just, what's wrong with them? I've forgotten the midfielder they signed now. In my memory, I probably shouldn't start. Is it Sancho? Yeah, they've got Sancho.
Oh, Sancho, yeah.
And he's been dropped and not doing very well. He's only 23.
Yeah, I've read that he's not happy because he hasn't been selected for the England squad either.
Yeah, you'd rather, but he should be like, your team should be buzzing around people like him, not Johnny Evans.
No. Well, I don't think that Southgate should have selected Maguire or Henderson.
No, I don't either.
I think both of them, they're both done now. Neither of them have got the spirit.
or the
they're not as good as what they were anymore. Yeah,
no,
they're not.
No,
Like, yeah, they might be good legends of the game. Well,
yeah,
Maguire, not so much.
yeah.
Like now, I think it's just time.
Maybe Southgate's included them for the comedy effort.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe because you've got to entertain.
We're not going to win trophies with Maguire at the back.
I wouldn't have thought. No. Well, man, you didn't.
Exactly. There's plenty of good players at the moment that could have been selected. Like Sterling, for example, he's not being selected. And I just think at the moment there's plenty of people.
But Sterling, he played well. That against, like, it was against Luton. It wasn't against a good team. He's not playing well against top teams. He's playing well against like the bottom end teams. But
but I think he's better than Maguire.
Well, I'm better than Maguire.
At least he can score.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Maguire can't even defend.
Well, funny enough, if you were playing Luton, he'd be good to have in the team because he's good at defending corners and set pieces. But if you're playing likes of Man City, West Ham, Tottenham, Liverpool, Arsenal,
they're all just too quick.
Yeah, they're far too quick for him.
Haaland's just a machine.
Oh, it's scary. I mean, it's like how they ever. I guess they didn't discover him. They probably knew about him all along. But what a player! I mean,
I know. Well, his dad was good as well, and he's just better than his dad.
He's better than everybody, really. I mean,
there's actually an interview where he says that he wanted to be better than his dad.
You should always be better than your dad.
He said he was like, my dad was a legend, and I wanted to be that as well, but better. He's doing it.
That's the same for you.
Yeah. Well.
You could be proud that your dad's a legend, and you could be better than your dad. So.
What beats a legend? What beats that? I don't think it can. I'll just be plated in platinum.
There you go. Yeah. The legend lives on. Well, and speaking of living on, I think that's the end of the first week.
Yep. I thought you were going to say something else then.
Oh, what else should I say?
No, just the way you said it.
It's drum roll.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is do it again next week. There might not be as much football, but we'll certainly think of something because maybe the internationals will have had some games that's worth talking about.
Yeah, because it's England next week, isn't it?
That's right.
This week.
Yeah, sometime. Yeah, so we'll watch some of them and then we can talk about them and talk about maybe another Ben story or two if you want, if you force me. Well, I'm hoping that people are listening to this to see some interesting Ben stories. Don't forget,
I'm sure
folks.
They are. Yep. And you've got more than one.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's funny you should say that. There's the updated cover of Ben in the USA done by Barbs Truly.
Ben in the USA.
There you go. Oh, you can't do that. We get into trouble. It's bad enough that I'm stealing that thought process without saying
That's okay. It's completely different.
It's nothing like that. It doesn't resemble
It's
that.
authentic.
Yeah, it doesn't resemble that song at all.
No, it doesn't. It's authentic.
Authentic. Yeah, that's a good word to use, authentic. And with that, we'll authenticize until next week.
Yep, you sure will.
All righty. Ciao for now, then.
See you later on.